Welcome in, race fans. And we got a banger tonight as the All-American Racing League closes out their Cup season with just 4 drivers left in the chase. You're looking at one of them right there in that 15 Chevrolet. That's David Hara. He's got a shot at bringing home the championship tonight. We'll go through the other drivers momentarily. But up first, we have something a little special planned in the program to kick us off. The guys at All-American Racing League have put this together. This is to celebrate the league. This is to celebrate the top 4 drivers that are still left in the chase. So what better way to kick off the stream than to play this tribute video to those 4 drivers. Chad Snyder with Assault Motorsports. David Lurfano III rocking that Lucky Dog detailing with Hillbilly Motorsports. Travis Rodriguez, also a member of Assault Motorsports in the 79 Ford Mustang. And David Hara, owner Hillbilly Motorsports in the 15. And that is the question of the night. Who will wear that crown? Now, we still got some things to set up and go over on the back end of here. We'll get to driver interviews momentarily. We'll be right back. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, coming back after the break. What more fitting way to continue this broadcast after that unique video than to be pulling these drivers in that are left in the race here in the championship. We'll start with Chad Snyder in the number 5 car. Chad, how you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good.
So how do you feel coming into tonight's race? Where's your confidence level at? You only got to compete with 3 other drivers tonight. However, there are other cars on the field, of course, that you're going to have to be wary about tonight. May not be about track position as much as it has been in the past, and more about getting up to the front and staying there.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different type of animal going into a race like this, where our main competition is going to be 3 guys. 3 guys as opposed to the whole field that we're looking at. You make it sound simple. I'm only racing 3 guys, but they're the 3 best guys in the series. So, going to be like any other race, as far as just trying to stay out of trouble for the first part of the race, and not doing anything to beat myself early, and just try to see where the chips fall at the end and go for whatever I can get.
All right, Chad, we appreciate your time. Good luck tonight, and keep her clean and keep her fast, Chad.
Yes, sir. I want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Rebellion Graphics, for being on the car for this race. Hope to see more of them in the future, and good luck to the other 3 guys tonight.
All righty, guys, that was Chad Snyder calling out his sponsors of the evening. Now, we will move on to that 15 Chevrolet. He's been talked about and brought up a lot onto the stream. One of the more consistent drivers here. Of course, all of these drivers in the top 4 are David Hara. How you feeling tonight, buddy? Talk to me a little bit about this track. Are you glad this is the last track, or are you comfortable at other ones? I mean, how you feel about tonight on this track, and what's your practice been like leading up to tonight?
Yeah, man, I'm kind of glad it's here at Michigan. We found that you're going to see a lot of things tonight. You're going to see drafting at the beginning of a run. You're going to see tire wear come into play, and then the field will separate a little bit. I'm kind of happy it's here. The times are super close. In practice, you're going to see some times that are different because guys are in the draft and things like that. But qualifying, you'll see some really, really close times. I'm excited about this race tonight for the blue-gray plastic fabrication Chevrolet. I think we're gonna get out here and do our best. You mentioned it. You said consistency, and that's what I want to do is run some consistent laps from the beginning to the end, and we'll see where things shake out. Again, just like we said earlier, I'm racing the whole. Yet I'm really racing 3 of the best in the league here, and we're just gonna go for it, man. I've put in close to 700 laps practice here for Michigan, getting prepared for it. So done all I can do now. We'll just have to see what happens in the race.
Yeah, so a lot of time spent in here. Keep it consistent throughout. Make sure you are at the end of the race and putting yourself in a good spot to compete. David, we appreciate your time all season long. Thank you for bringing us on board here, and good luck in tonight's race.
Thank you, Faded.
Moving on to David Hara's teammate, David Lorfano in the Lucky Dog Detail. And Mr. Lorfano, do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Faded.
Thank you for joining us pre-race. I'm not sure how much longer you guys have. I think there's a big chunk of practice left. But I asked them, I'm going to ask you the same question. How do you feel about coming into tonight's track? What's your game plan? And how are you going to get it done for that Lucky Dog Detail in number 8?
Yeah, I think tonight I like Michigan. I think it's gonna put on a good show for anyone at home watching, and I think the big key here tonight is to stay out of trouble early. I mean, you're gonna see the draft come into play. It's just a matter of not doing something stupid or pushing too hard early, I think, and put yourself in a bad position, which we've seen, throughout these races. Sometimes it's hard to come back from. But overall, I think this track's great for the championship race.
Now, do you and David have any kind of team strategy at the beginning of this race, midway through, and then obviously towards the end? We all know there's teammates and then there's racing for a championship. But as far as the beginning of this race, without going into too many details and spilling any kind of strategy, have you guys talked about how you may want to work together in the beginning of this race?
I mean, we have a little bit. I think more or less comes down to maybe more of a pit strategy if the cards go that way. I mean, if we get long green flag runs, we kind of got a strategy there. But if yellows are thrown in, that's just going to throw a monkey wrench into it anyways, and we'll just have to regroup. I mean, we've been working together quite a bit here for Michigan, so like I said, it's just how this race plays out. We don't know yet.
Alrighty, David Lurfano, I appreciate your time. Go ahead and get some more practice laps in here. Good luck to you tonight, David. Is there anybody you'd like to thank before I let you go?
No, I really got to thank Lucky Dog Detailing for jumping on through the end of this season. Looking forward to next season and hopefully having them on board. But yeah, Lucky Dog, you can't thank them enough.
Yeah, next season for sure. But first things first, go take care of business at Michigan, buddy.
And I'll try to get it done.
All righty, that was David Lurfano. Our last driver, Travis. He goes by Juggles Rodriguez. Do you have a copy, Travis?
Yes, sir. I forgot I had a push to talk button. So
That is all right. We saved you for last nonetheless. Look, you've been fast all season long. You've been up the front all season long. You've had some trouble here and there in races where I felt like maybe you were going to pull away the winner, but you made it. You made it to the top 4. How does it feel getting here? How do you feel racing with these guys? And where do you put your chances tonight going up against these other 3 drivers?
I don't know. If I'm honest, by all accounts throughout the season, I probably shouldn't be here. I've had a few good lucky races where I ended up where I needed to be at the right time. A lot of it's going to try and come down to consistency at this point, and it's always about consistency, so I've got to put good laps down and try to move forward.
All righty, absolutely, Travis. Well, listen, man, appreciate your time. Good luck as always. And I'm sure there's plenty of people in the chat that will be rooting for you. So I don't pick drivers. I don't root for drivers, but I think I can root for a good, clean, fast, competitive race. So that's what I'll say. I'll send those wishes your way, Mr. Rodriguez. Thank you for your time. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All righty, that was your top 4 drivers here coming in to Michigan. David Hara, David Lurfano, Chad Snyder, and Travis Rodriguez. Your 4 drivers putting it all on the line tonight to take home the All-American Racing League Cup Series Championship. Now, as you have seen on our graphics for a couple of weeks now, you've seen Top Sail Trucking. They are going to be the official league sponsor going into Season 2, just weeks away after tonight's race. There's a quick turnaround, and they'll be starting Season 2. That will still be broadcasted here every Tuesday night on Faded TV. We may be multi-streaming that next season. We got a couple of exciting things that we're trying to work on in the production area side of things, but definitely 100% coming back next season right here on Faded TV on Twitch.com. We appreciate all the early birds coming in here. We have 9 minutes and 40 seconds left in the practice session, and I cannot wait to get under green. Now, we'll keep you updated with some of the other things going on in tonight's race. Hillbilly Motorsports, owned and operated by David Hara in that 15 car, brought on a teammate about midway towards the end of the season, the number 20 car of Larry Garnes. He has picked up a sponsor for tonight's race, and I would assume heading into Season 2, he'll be running a Stripe to Remember lawn care. I love the name of that, a Stripe to Remember lawn care. So again, that's Larry Garnes driving the 20 car in Hillbilly Motorsports, picking up a sponsor. It is a lawn care company serving the Charlotte and surrounding areas. Of course, one of the other drivers, part of Hillbilly Motorsports, is David Lurfano. He runs that Lucky Dog Detailing and Pressure Washing, also a Charlotte-based company. So a lot of these guys running on the East Coast there. Over there's Carolina States. Now, owner and driver David Hara has been running the blue-gray plastic fabrications all season long. They are also in the Charlotte-based company, but they do ship orders throughout the country. So I just wanted to shout out, take some time. Hillbilly Motorsports on the rise. They have 2 drivers in the championship race tonight, picking up sponsors left and right. Very exciting news coming out of the HMS camp. Heading back onto the track, though, we got plenty of drivers that we need to talk about as well. In fact, a little bit of a exciting announcement as we do try to get a view of a good buddy of mine. That's Louis Clark in that 73 car. And you might notice a familiar logo on his Toyota Camry. Yep, that is correct. Faded TV will be running its own paint scheme in tonight's race. I can't thank Louis Clark enough. It was his idea. He didn't ask me for any money. This is not a sponsorship. This is just a good friend. We've called races together. We might or might not link up for the 24 hours of Spa this weekend, but nonetheless, good friend of mine, Louis Clark, whipping out the Faded TV Toyota Camry, and I couldn't be more excited and blessed to see that Toyota. Who knows? Maybe in the front of the pack tonight. We'll see. So far, as you see at the left of your screen, Patrick McQuaid in that 77 Chevrolet, bringing in a time of 38.58. He's been fast all season as well. He came in towards the latter end of the season. Otherwise, I think he would be a playoff driver. He might be racing for the championship tonight. So I think the guys that are involved with Patrick McQuaid in that 77 Muffler Man expect a lot of things going into season 2. We have a new driver tonight, Campbell Delaney. I saw this car in before the stream, and he's rocking that Nike Golf, and that is just one slick paint job there. So we welcome him to All-American Racing League. He'll hop on board here for the Michigan race, and as you see, things going a little bit sideways in the practice session, but that's what the practice session is for, getting a feel for each other, seeing if you can bump and run, how the draft is going to work. So it's all fun and games during this moment. As you see, he might not be too happy about that one, but now as you see those 2 drivers right there, that's the 24 car of Aiden Christensen, another new face around here. So he's going to be in that 24 Chevrolet. We'll see these guys get back on track. And hopefully they'll get their bugs worked out and their anger out. They got about 4.5 minutes left to do so. Looks like they're going to get right back in the file here, though. As you see, the 24 dipping inside now. He's going to take control of that. We'll see just how Campbell Delaney reacts to that. However, Delaney and Christensen, new drivers here, also coming in with the 2nd and 3rd fastest time. Also from up north, 2 Canadian drivers along with Caden Tufts. As always, I think he'll be joining us for tonight's race. John Higgins Jr., I think we'll be revisiting tonight's track. We've talked about Larry Garnes, Tyrone Yo. Talked a little bit in the Discord. He's felt really good about his practice session so far. And he's confident he will be up front. We have Johnny May, Joshua Hetrick, an admin over at the ORR Lawn Care Truck Series that's going to be ran every Sunday night. Brian Ludlow joining us tonight as well. You don't see very many Cup cars, if any at all, with the 3-digit numbers, but I respect it. Paying homage to some of the short track cars that you see running the triple-digit numbers tonight. Again, that's Brian Ludlow. So with under 3 minutes left, I would assume anybody who's going to join is going to be in the session. I think we might be waiting on Caden Tufts to connect. And if he does, we'll have 15 drivers. Of course, a lot of attention going to be on the top 4 coming into tonight, chasing down this championship, but we will try to do the best we can to call all the action right here on Faded TV. Alrighty, sorry for the pause up here in the booth, taking care of some last minute social media send outs. We want to make sure we get as many eyes on this broadcast as possible, as this is been anticipated for the last couple of weeks now. It's all come down to this. Practice is over. We'll try to catch as many qualifying laps as we can. So these guys hop from one server to the next. You hear me talk about it all the time. That's why you see the pause in the action. As we start getting some drivers now loaded into the session. Aiden Christensen, David Lurfano, Louis Kark, Campbell Delaney. All these guys making their way into the qualifying session. Should be a good one here at Michigan. These guys are currently recruiting, by the way, for next season's Cup Series that will be broadcasted here every Tuesday night. However, their unbroadcasted league, at least as of now, I believe that's their plan, is going to be the ORR Lawn Care Truck Series. They're also recruiting for that. So you can definitely get into one Discord server and probably run 2 leagues on Sunday night and one on Tuesday nights. Or you can choose one or the other. But the trucks will be on Sunday evening, and they are currently recruiting for that, as they are for the Cup Series Season 2. It is a sponsored series. It's going to be Top Sale Trucking. And it's going to be the Truckers Feed America Series. Now, you're going to see some of those graphics here tonight, as you have for the last week or so. It was something that we just wanted to do to build some hype around next season. So it's a full sponsored league. We have already inked the deal to broadcast every single race for season 2 of the Cup Series on Tuesday nights. So you definitely want to get involved. As we take a look at the qualifying times, at number 5, Chad Snyder. He's one of your championship drivers tonight. Almost gets pole. It looks like Campbell Delaney and Louis Clark. Well, as you can see, now they were really, really tight. They still are. David Lurfano making his way up to second place. That's big. He's another championship driver. I'm sure most of you guys in chat already know this, but we're going to talk about it anyways when we see it. At number 8 car of David Lurfano, the 5 of Chad Snyder. We're going to keep our eyes out on that 15 of David Hera. And I think we're waiting for a couple of more drivers, including Travis Rodriguez, that 4th championship driver. However, looks like pole position is going to go to that 73 Toyota Camry of Louis Clark in the faded TV livery tonight. Your race info tonight being brought to you by Top Sail Trucking. The All-American Racing League, as we talked about, next season, fully sponsored by Top Sail Trucking, Truckers Feed America Series. We are at Michigan International Speedway. If you were wondering, we just talked about getting involved in this league. If you want to know how, go to www.facebook.com/All-American Racing League. Send them a message, get a hold of one of the admins, and they will get you set and ready for next season.
Screw you, Juggle.
As we catch a little bit of the in-game chat, this is a reminder, if you are in the stream and you are a driver, make sure that you are using Discord chat only and not in-game chat so we can avoid things like that coming across the broadcast. Of course, I could easily go in and turn game sound off as well.
Going back, Matt.
As we take a look at the grid, it looks like Louis Clark from Project Dynamic Esports is going to be able to hold on to that number 1 spot, followed by Patrick McQuaid, knocking David Lurfano down 1 spot to 3rd. Campbell Delaney 4th. Chad Snyder going to be in that 5th spot. So 2 of your championship drivers starting in that top 5, followed by Travis Rodriguez, also in contention. David Hera, your 4th driver, going to be starting outside the top 10 in that 12th spot, which might be right where he wants to be at the beginning of this race. Not saying he was sandbagging or anything, but I don't think there's any urge to feel discouraged. I know you see David Lurfano up there and McQuaid and Snyder and Rodriguez, the rest of the championship drivers, not McQuaid, excuse me. But I don't think that's cause for concern for David Hera. I think him starting in the back of the pack is actually going to suit him well. He's going to be able to avoid any of this early nonsense that can happen. and be able to hang out. We talked to him before the race. He wants consistency throughout, and he just wants a shot at the end of this race to make a run. Again, these 4 drivers, from the way I understand it, the only way it makes sense really is all their points did reset coming into this race. So the only thing that we need to focus on is finishing. We don't have to do any quick maths at the end. Whichever one of these drivers finishes in front of the others is going to be your Season 1 champion here at All American Racing League. So, Pace Truck's going to bring them around. We're going to do a couple of outlaps here. Again, there's Louis Clark in that 73 Faded TV. Shout out to him. Appreciate you, brother. Much love with all these guys here. Everybody enjoys driving together, working together. That's Louis Clark, Patrick McQuaid, and that 77 Muffler Man going to be starting in the front row on the outside. David Lorfano chasing that championship, going to be on the inside, row 2, sitting in third in his Lucky Dog Detailing Toyota Camry. Campbell Delaney, again, one of the newer faces here. Chad Snyder, we're going to be talking about him all night long. Trying to make his way towards the championship here. Travis Rodriguez as well. So those guys starting side by side. And as we said, David Harris starting in the back. I think he's going to be quite comfortable back there. Let this play out for some laps, 100 laps that is. We'll get back up to Louis Clark as we go into turn 3. He's going to take the green flag for us here at the start of this race. We'll get the laps put up for you. That's lap 1 of 100. Pace Truck down low. Pace Truck got down pit road. Louis Clark going to send us on our way. The last race of the season at All American Racing League. It's almost getting 3 wide coming out of turn 2 here. Plenty of space here at Michigan. Louis Clark gonna take on that middle line there towards the inside. Patrick McQuaid choosing to stay up top. You see the number 9 car getting involved. That's Campbell Mullaney on the inside. He's gonna jump in front of that 24. Now that number 9 and that 24, we're pushing and shoving in practice. Let's see if they're gonna bring it to the race here. You see the 24 on the inside, making us 3 wide just for a moment as we cross the start-finish line. Louis Clark is going to lead lap 1 here at Michigan. So the 24 car and that 9 car now giving each other a little bit of space. I was eager to see if tensions were going to boil over from the practice session. As you see our leaders checking up high, all 3 single file. The 24 car of Aiden Christensen going to try to work that inside line once more as we're on lap 3 now, or on the early going here. David Lorfano in that 8 car. Rounding out the top 5. Nothing but clean racing here early on. You see the rest of the field on the backstretch with our race leaders. Now on the inside, Campbell Delaney looking to take his shot at the race lead. Aiden Christensen might have some other plans as Louis Clark checks up high. He's going to lose the race lead there momentarily. So these cars up front, again, they were looking pretty fast in the practice session. They just got to keep avoiding their bumpers there, as they got tangled a couple of times in the practice session. Now that we're in the live race session, we'll see if they play nice with one another. Louis Clark's going to fall back to 3rd. David Lorfano right now, though, the championship driver, sitting 4th. Chad Snyder making his way up to 5th place as he works on the inside. of Patrick McQuaid. So he's trying to make his way up to the front. All he's got to do is make sure he's in front of David Lurfano and the rest of these championship drivers when it's all said and done. Goal number one, keep a clean car, keep it off the wall, avoid any big wrecks, make sure you're there at the end of this race in contention as we see those two cars up front. This is what they were doing in practice, and they do bring it to the race session. We're going to be under our first caution. Aiden Christensen and Campbell Delaney. I knew it was going to happen. We saw it in practice session. Now, I don't know if they're just trying to work in tandem or not, but regardless, you knew it was going to happen sooner or later with just the way they were messing around in practice. That's going to send the 9 car into the wall. That's going to send him back to the pits. He's going to have to use a quick repair. As you see, just coming out of the exit there, they hook up once. The 24 car gets a little bit loose. Now, shout out to David Lurfano for avoiding all that, by the way. Great job in that number 8 car. As we're going to take a couple of different looks at this. Great job by David Lurfano. Oh, yeah. So that's going to give, I believe, your race lead back to Louis Clark. Obviously, those two cars are going to have to come down pit road, use a quick repair. As we try to work something out into the production booth back here on the back end, we will have some radio silence under the first caution here in Michigan as we try to take care of an issue that we're having. I do apologize. There we go, folks. Just noticed that the All-American Racing League logo was missing on the top left hand. Make sure we take care of that. Now, I wanted to go back and reiterate just how close that was for David Lurfano in that 8 car. Just a phenomenal job to avoid any early repairs needed. Now, these drivers do get a quick repair, so it might not have been the end of the world, but he would have had to come in, use said quick repair, and he would have lost track position. Instead, to some nice slick driving, he's going to find himself a front row on the outside of Louis Clark. And the two culprits of the caution, Campbell Delaney and Aiden Christensen, will start towards the back of the pack. Only Brian Ludlow and Caden Tuff's going to be behind them. I'm not too sure Caden Tuff's made it into the server here. Do not believe he made himself out on the track. His name showed up in our SDK iRacing Live timing information, but he's nowhere to be found. I know he was talking about running in this race. Maybe something else came up. That's all right. We should be good this time around as we see our battle box for the first time this evening. That's right, you're running race control. Thank you, Caden Tufts, for doing so. As Louis Clark with a monster restart. Now we see Chad Snyder making his way up to the front. He's on the inside of championship driver David Lurfano. We'll take a look at this action momentarily. Both of these guys racing for the crown. So, one early caution due to some irresponsible driving by Aiden Christian and Campbell Delaney. Of course, racing hard, but should have had that figured out in practice session as it happened back to back. Then you bring it to the live session. No bueno. So thankfully, for the time being, there's plenty of space between those drivers. We'll get them out of the way as David Lurfano, Chad Snyder are up towards the front. And we'll complete 10 laps here at Michigan. Checking in on David Hera as he's back in 10th spot, sitting comfortable in his blue-gray custom plastic fabrication. Got a long way to go here. And just what happened a few laps ago, this is why I was talking about how he's probably just fine sitting in the back of this pack for a while. He's going to be able to avoid some of this early nonsense that is going to take place. And he did just that, as you can see. Not a scratch on that 15 Chevrolet. Now, right in front of him, in that green and black Ford Mustang, is our other championship contender, Travis Rodriguez. He's going to make easy work, though, on the outside of that 79 as David Hera makes his way through the field up to the front. Now he's got Joshua Hetrick to get by. You see him in that ORR lawn care livery. He's an admin over there for their truck series in that 25 car. Behind David, he's got a teammate, Larry Garnes, in the white and green. So David in good company back here. As you see a little bit of pushing and fighting in the middle in front of David Hera. He's going to keep his eyes on that closely and monitor any action going in front of him. As you see these guys get bunched up here a little bit. He's going to be trying to keep it smooth. That 19 car of John Higgins. Going to check down low. He's going to let David pass. Some of these drivers know and are going to be gentlemen about all the championship contenders. Patrick McQuaid, who was once up towards the front in that 77, he's dropped back a little bit. He's lost 7 positions since the beginning of this race, so he's going to be hanging out back here. As you see, Joshua Hetrick cutting down onto the inside line, making his way past Campbell Delaney. Can David Hera follow suit? And it looks like he is going to successfully get the pass. Well, they're still battling out, carrying a lot of speed on the outside there. Looks like he's got some work cut out for him. Campbell's not going away. We'll check back up here towards the front. Aiden Christensen taking third from Chad Snyder's in that 24 car. He makes his way back up towards the front. Louis Clark in that faded TV Toyota Camry, still your race leader, but he's got some stiff competition as Aiden Christensen looks to be the favorite early on here. Just some blazing speed. He's going to be on the inside of Louis Clark. He's going to take P1 just like that as he was involved in that early caution. Coming down pit road, gets his fast repair, gets back out on the track, and finds himself back up towards the front. Now, Louis Clark's going to work that draft in that black and orange 73. We'll see if he can keep pace with Christensen through the draft. Chad Snyder was working on the inside of David Lafano. He's going to make that pass into third place. This is going to be an important battle to watch all night long, as those two guys are contenders. As we talked about all night long, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it's important to note where these drivers are, who's around them at all times. Johnny May creeping up 6 spots. He's going to be in the top 5 in that 00 Ford Mustang. Behind him, Joshua Hetrick. He's pulling along Patrick McQuaid. Adrian Christensen, a new driver here at All-American Racing League, trying to put a stamp on his first or second go with the league here. He's just had a really fast car all night long, and now that he doesn't have the 9 car to push or to be pushed by, it looks like he's going to be in control of the race. We see Chad Snyder now working the draft with Louis Clark as we're on the backstretch heading into turn 3. Let's see if Chad Snyder can make his way up to the front. David Lafano close on his bumper as well as we come out of turn 4 and creep closer to 20 laps down here at Michigan. This is the All-American Racing League Cup Series finale. 4 drivers are left for the championship. We're calling it live on Faded TV. Look us up on Facebook at www.facebook.com/FadedTV. Couple of slots open for your broadcasting needs. We're going to come under caution here. Let's see. Looks like John Higgins in the red. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened here. We'll go back as soon as we can. Oh no, that's David Hara getting involved big time. That's going to send him down pit road and probably have to get a fast repair there as well. So I'm not too sure what happened there. We'll go back and rewind. We'll do it the old school way with the game rewind, because why not? So it looks like we're going to take a 3 wide. Looks like he just comes down on that 9 car a little too hard. 9 car, though, definitely doesn't make any adjustments to get out of his way. Not saying he needs to or that he should, but just calling it. And unfortunate for that 15 car. He's lucky he didn't get totally hit from behind by Tyrone Yo. Good job in that 02 car, Tyrone, to stay out of the back bumper of David Hara. So we'll bring it back up live for you. Looks like Louis Clark's going to drop 4 positions, fall back to 5th place. That's going to open the door for a new race leader, David Lafano, in that Lucky Dog detailing and power washing. Falling under our second caution here at Michigan, just 100 laps for these drivers to get it done. David Lurfano right where he wants to be. As it looks like we got some blinking issues out of that second place car. Joshua Hetrick. That should about do it. Everybody should be where they need to be. Coming into turn 3, we should get back to green flag racing. Out of turn 4, it's going to be up to David Lurfano to get a really nice jump because he looks in his rearview mirror and he sees Travis Rodriguez behind him. The nerves, the anxiety, the excitement David Lurfano must be feeling on this restart. It's going to be his show to go. As we do get a nice restart from that 8 car. Joshua Hetrick being able to maintain second right off the rip. As you see, Travis Rodriguez just losing a little bit of pace. Louis Clark and Aiden Christensen going to start making their way up, see if they can get a run on to Hetrick. Louis Clark on the inside. Hetrick checks up, gets into the back bumper of the 8. That's going to slow down David Lurfano just a little bit and allow Louis Clark and Aiden Christensen to ride this inside line out of turn 4 and take over those first 2 spots. I got a feeling these guys are going to be racing hard all night long for first place. Louis Clark not used to being ran down like this when he does these races. He's going to stay up high. Christensen's going to stay down low, and he's going to come onto the backstretch. Your new race leader for the moment. Louis Clark maintaining and taking back that position down the backstretch as he gets a good run there. You see Patrick McQuaid at the bottom of your screen. He's now your new third place driver. Chad Snyder making the pass on David Lurfano. He likes that inside line so far in his number 5 Chevrolet. So Chad Snyder, David Lurfano duking it out for the championship. David Harrah's making his way back up after that pit stop. He said no more hiding out in the back. He's going to make his run. As you see, 3 out of the 4 championship drivers running together here at Michigan. This is for 4th, 5th, and 6th place. As you see David all the way out of the yellow line. Same with Chad Snyder. David Lurfano in the 8 car. He's going to stay up high. He's going to lose some time because of that. You see the 00 car of Johnny May making his face seen here on the inside of David Harrah. He's trying to get a line to work his way back up to the front. Lap 25, quarter way through this race. Chad Snyder's going to be leading all championship drivers momentarily around the track. David Harrah in the 15, gonna drop down low, challenge on the inside. Can he get the pass done? Got to be careful here. That 77 car might get into the way here, as it looks like they have just a little bit faster pace than he does. They definitely don't want to take it 3 wide. 77 still checking up high. David as well. He's going to cut down low. Eat up that inside line. Chad decides to stay up high. 00 of Johnny May coming on the inside. Behind him is John Higgins Jr. making his way up to the front. In that 19 car, David Lurfano losing pace and dropping back. He's lost 5 positions, back in 8th place since the beginning of this race. But on that restart, he took over as your first place driver. So he's fallen back pretty heavy. Not too sure what's going on in this camp. That could be a strategy for him. He might be just trying to fall back for the next portion of this race to keep his own nose clean here. Lap 27 of 100 here at Michigan All-American Racing League's final night of Season 1. We will crown a champion after this race. David Hara still working in third place. He's trying to get out of the back bumper of Louis Clark. Speaking of Louis Clark, trying to make a run back on Aiden Christensen. Aiden's been really fast tonight. He's found his way up to the front multiple times. Caught up in an early wreck. With Campbell Delaney, who I believe finds himself a lap down, if all information is correct on my end. So, tough night for Campbell. We'll drop back one spot with David Hara, who again, making a strong case for his 15 Chevrolet now and why he should be crowned the champion as he's fought his way back from that 12th spot on the opening lap and has found himself up into third. Patrick McQuaid, Johnny May, and John Higgins all in between David Hara and Chad Snyder, who's going to be the next championship driver closest to David Hara. Now, David Lerfano, who we talked about, he's dropped back to 10th. And Travis Rodriguez, forget about it. He's sitting in 13th place right now. Still plenty of laps to go. As you see, we're going to be closing out lap 30 momentarily. We're going to have 70 laps here at Michigan. So, plenty of racetrack left. We'll see just how green this session goes. And then we're going to start talking about pit stop strategies. Now, we talked to David Hara and David Lerfano, who are both teammates at Hillbilly Motorsports. And we did touch base with them. They do have a little bit of strategy to work together, at least early, as we see Louis Clark now coming on the inside of Aiden Christensen. He's going to make that line work. So Louis Clark back up to the front, but here comes Aiden in that 24 car on the inside. This is where both these drivers seems to run their preferred line. Aiden on the bottom, Louis likes on top. And you'll have to be an absolute adult to be able to take that sentence serious. Now they switch. Louis Clark on the inside. Aiden tried coming down, seeing if he could get into the draft. Louis smartly goes up high immediately to try to fight Aiden, locking onto his bumper. You see David Hara now trying to take advantage of this battle for first. He's going to work on the inside of that 24 as they almost touch. David all the way on the inside, getting pushed almost all the way to the grass. But he's going to be able to stay on track. He's going to be able to keep it together, and he is going to make the pass, at least for now. Now it's his turn to close the door on that 24 as he checks down low, cuts off any possibilities of 24 coming on the inside. Now he's got his eyes on race leader Louis Clark. We talked to Hara before this race. He said he's had about 700 laps in on Michigan. He has been lasered in coming into tonight, and he looks lasered in right now as he's pushed his Chevrolet all the way up to second place, lap 33 out of 100. So we hear some contact into the back. I think it was just a car brushing the wall. I don't see any yellows. Nothing going on in my events list here with the SDK iRacing Live Timing. Shout out to them for providing tonight's overlays, as they always do. Great software out there, one that you might even want to use, even if you're not a broadcaster. Looks good if you're a streamer. You do have to pay a monthly subscription for it, though. Certainly worth it on my end. Again, that's SDK Overlay. Search them up on Google. They provide all the overlays here on Faded TV and many other broadcasts around Twitch, Facebook, YouTube as well. Oh, looks like we are going to have a yellow flag. Not too sure. Aiden Christensen might be involved in another wreck here. We'll go back and take a look. So it looks like he might have already Came down to the pits. We'll take a look at this 24 cars. Whoa, he looks like, oh, dude, not too sure what happened there. As we take a look at the race rewind here.
You love to see it when someone gets loose and there's an accident that he gets hit.
Looks like he got loose for a moment and just tried fighting way too much on the oversteer there. And that's going to send him to the top of the track, nose first into the wall. So he was a very, very fast driver tonight. Not too sure if there's only one quick repair for these drivers. I'm pretty sure he's already used one. He got into that scuffle a little bit earlier on with that number 9 car, Campbell Delaney. So if so, not saying his race is over, but he's certainly not going to have the speed that he had to be able to contest Louis Clark. And how about David Hara coming from that 12th position from the start of this race all the way up to P2? He was looking strong at the end of that green flag session. So we'll catch you back up live. See how many drivers are going to come down pit road. Yep, we do see some drivers pitting. So we'll stay on pit lane here, as it looks like Lurfano, Hetrick, Garnes, Hara, Higgins all in for yellow pit stops here. We'll see the race off of pit road. You see David Hara already making a charge. There's Louis Clark winning that battle, followed by David Hara. John Higgins, Patrick McQuaid, David Lurfano, Joshua Hetrick, Travis Rodriguez, and Larry Garnes, last one off pit road. And that means only one thing. The guys that stayed out obviously move up, and that's going to be championship contender, rocking that Rebellion Graphics number 5. Chevrolet Chad Snyder finds himself up in the front row. Johnny May is going to be joining him in the 00 Ford Mustang. He's had a pretty decent night so far. A couple of new names up front, not new to All-American Racing League, of course. Tyrone Yo Jr., Brian Ludlow. And then that's when we start seeing some of the race leaders who decided to come in, get 4 tires and a splash of gas. Louis Clark, David Hara, John Higgins, Patrick McQuaid. All following suit. iRacing opening up so many avenues for so many people. I'm excited to be here calling this race. These guys contacted me many months ago. I didn't have a clue about broadcasting iRacing. Since then, we've upgraded the overlays, upgraded the studio a little bit. These guys have helped me along the way every single step of the way. So not only great action on the track, but great guys in the Discord. And I appreciate them calling on me to call this series. And it's an honor to be here calling the championship race here for All-American Racing League as they close out Season 1. Again, heading into next season, going to be sponsored by Top Sail Trucking. Truckers Feed America will be the series name of that as they head over to the next gen. Alrighty, let's get on board with Chad Snyder coming out of turn 4, and let's get back to the action. Pace trucks off. Chad takes the flag. I'm not too sure if he maybe got a little bit loose there. He started low, came up high with the quickness. If so, he was able to maintain it, though, as we see here. A couple of car lengths between him and second-place driver Johnny May on that restart. Now we'll see just how long it takes Louis Clark and David Hara to kind of work through some of this traffic. They do have fresh tires. As you see, Louis Clark taking the inside of Tyrone. That's going to be third, fourth, and fifth battle right there. As we take a look at that, Louis Clark on the inside. David Hara going to follow him on the inside line. Yo's going to check up, stay out of their way. And let the contenders race. Now, behind David Hara is John Higgins in the 19 car in that white, blue, yellow paint scheme at the top of your screen. He's got a quick race car as well. Chad Snyder, who decided to stay out. He's going to have a little bit older tires than these guys. Not too sure about how much. You see David Hara. These guys are about 3 to 4 wide here onto the backstretch before they get to turn 3. Certainly going to be 3 wide heading into turn 3. As these guys start shuffling in and out of positions. John Higgins, who we just talked about in that Ford Mustang, making his way up to second place. David Harris shuffling down low. He's got Patrick McQuaid to worry about. That 77 working the outside of that 15. Chad Snyder holding on to third place, but look at David Hara on the inside of that track. As we go on into the backstretch, he's going to be your third place car. Louis Clark still leading this race. As these drivers did come down and take 4 tires, they got that extra grip. It's going to allow them a little bit extra speed as these guys have made their way through the field, back up towards the front. John Higgins, though, coming out of nowhere right now as we are almost halfway through the race. As we get a shot of that 15 car, David Hara on the inside. He's trying to take sole position of second place away from John. We'll see if John can keep up on that high side line as he picks up a little bit of the side draft there onto the front stretch. David not being able to close out just yet, but he's going to get a nice run on that inside as we take a look at this great angle of just how much speed David Hara carried through that turn. John Higgins is going to touch the wall a little bit on that right rear quarter panel. Didn't really lose a whole lot. Patrick McQuaid, though, coming back storming up on the inside of John Higgins. That's the battle for third. As we check back in with some of the other contending drivers. David Lafano sitting 5th currently. Chad Snyder dropped all the way back to 8th after that restart. And Travis Rodriguez in 10th place. So at least about halfway through the race here, it looks like those 700 laps of practice, the dedication that David Hara has put forth into tonight's race is certainly paying off. As you see him trying to run down Louis Clark, doesn't necessarily need to. Louis Clark not being a championship contender here. If the race were to end right now, David Hara finishing second place would give him that championship. But what better way to win the championship than to go out with a bang and win this race? That's just what David plans on doing. So the front pack here kind of falling back into single file. Everybody's settled down now after that restart. Getting into the groove. We take a look at the second pack here. That's Joshua Hetrick leading them around in that number 25 car. Larry Garnes, teammates to both David Hara and David Lafano. Getting better each and every week is Larry Garnes. He's a little bit of a newbie here at iRacing. I believe he's still a rookie in ovals. So to even be contending with these guys running P7 right now, hats off to Larry Garnes, as it looks like he has the official simulator of NASCAR figured out, and he's getting dialed in. Chad Snyder, long way to go here. I think he might just be holding on, seeing if he can get a cheap caution, come down and get new tires. That strategy of staying out didn't pay off for him, as you saw. The new rubber on the drivers in the front, just a little bit more speed than Snyder. So we're going to have to wait and see when he decides to come back down pit road. He obviously needs tires. He's going to stay up high there. That's a good sign of a driver not maybe having that much grip, or at least as much grip as he wants on a track like this, where you can run on the inside and the outside. You see some of your race leaders here that do have fresh tires. They may start on the outside of the turn, but they're most certainly dipping down to the low side into the turns and then carrying that speed off back high onto the back stretch and the front stretch. And when you have the grip to play with, that's how you want to run tracks like these. When you don't have any grip, you're running how Chad Snyder is, where you're just pretty much staying up high the whole way. Now, that might not be the case with him. Maybe he fell back. Maybe he still has plenty of speed left. He's just buying some time. Patrick McQuaid on the outside of David Hera. He's going to get back up into P2 as he now has a chance to reel in our race leader, Louis Clark. John Higgins and David Lurfano still your 4th and 5th place driver as we creep closer and closer to the halfway point here in Michigan. It looks like Patrick might get on a run here. We see him closer and closer. John Higgins and David Harris still working the inside line there. David Lurfano closing in on that. As you see, David Hera now back up on the inside of that 77 of McQuaid. Going into turn 3. As we eclipse the halfway mark, nice little green flag stretch here. A lot of these cars up front taking a pit stop, the last caution. Some of these cars in the back electing to stay out. If we do stay green flag, we'll see just how long Chad Snyder can hold on. If he comes in under green for a 4-tire pit stop, you have to assume he's going to go a lap down and join Aiden Christensen and Campbell Delaney, who are both a lap down here. And possibly both out of this race. Yeah, I have no information on those two guys.
I'm thinking about 30 to go.
So we do catch a little bit of in-race voice, about 30 to go before these guys start coming in. Now, I'm not too sure who that was, but 30 laps to go seems to be the window for some of these drivers before we start coming in for green flag pit stops if we stay racing. Obviously, a caution will throw a gear or throw a wrench in the gears there as far as that strategy goes. If you can get a caution now within the next 10 laps, you're going to see most of these drivers come down pit road. John Higgins getting up high, swinging it down low. He's going to be able to hold on to it. Nice save by John Higgins. Switch to him at just the right moment. What are the odds? Good job in that Ford Mustang. Obviously, though, he's going to lose pace. But I'd rather lose pace than lose my car. So great job by John Higgins to be able to hold on to that. Looked like he was going to go for a ride. He ended up saving it. Larry Garnes now back here in that 20 car. He's in 6th position. He might be looking to crack the top 5 here for the first time in All-American Racing League. Again, not just a rookie here at All-American Racing League, but this guy's a rookie in iRacing altogether. And to see him out here is just phenomenal. I mean, great job, Larry Garnes. Keep running her, man. Picked up your first sponsor. Got a nice new paint scheme out there. Happy for you, man. I've been able to see some growth from some of these drivers, as we've now called All-American Racing Leagues, for probably a good 2 months, maybe even more. And just to see the growth of not only the league, but the individual drivers as well, has been one of my favorite parts. But back to the race, as Patrick McQuaid is getting a run on Louis Clark. As you see him slingshot out of turn 4, coming across the front stretch, trying to do everything he can to muscle in Louis Clark. David Lurfano making his comeback in tonight's race. He finds himself right behind his teammate back in 4th position. We'll see if these guys work together. Does David Lurfano try to take lead and make a pass on teammate David Hera? Right now, they're both fighting for the championship, but we still got 42 laps of racing. So still plenty of time to play nice and try to work your way back up to the front together, but we'll see. I'm sure if David Lurfano gets a run and thinks he's got plenty of room, he'll try to make the pass on to David Hera. John Higgins, after almost losing it, lost pace a little bit. He's still able to hold on to that top 5 position. They're in 5th place. And then going back to our 4th driver in championship contention, Travis Rodriguez, unless if he's holding on to something deep down for the end of this race, has not really been able to find pace here at Michigan. He's been towards the back of the field all day. Just can't keep pace with the guys up there in the top 5. Again, he might be holding on to something, and we just ain't seen it yet. But it might be time with 40 laps left to at least start showing some of that. Our race leaders, Louis Clark, Patrick McQuaid, David Hera, are making their way out of turn 4, coming across the front stretch. That's going to take us to lap 60. So 40 laps to go as you see Rodriguez riding the high line there. Chad Snyder as well, not having the night he had hoped. He's back in 9th place right now. He was up towards the front. He might be, again, looking for a caution. He's going to have to come down and get 4 tires as well. but you definitely don't want to go under green if you can avoid it. You don't want to go a lap down in this situation. Although pretty much everybody's on the lead lap now except Tyrone Yo. Not too sure what's going on in that 02 Chevrolet, but he is going to be your only lap down driver of the evening so far. So if worse comes to worse, there's not too many cars on a lap down, I should say. So if we do start seeing some green flag pit stops here and we see a car go down a lap, they'll be able to race for that lucky dog relatively easy. You won't have to fight 6-7 drivers for that lucky dog. So David Lurfano does take advantage of his speed, and he is going to pass David Hera. Although that could have been a strategy there. David Hera might have sat there and said, hey, if you're running just a 10th quicker than me, 2/10 quicker than me, why don't you go ahead, take over that third place spot. We got plenty of laps to go. It was about lap 51, I believe, where somebody came across the radio and said about 30 laps is all they had on tires and fuel. So if we do stay green flag racing, right around that 75, 80 to 85 mark is when we're going to start seeing some of these cars come in for a green flag pit stop. And that's when things are going to get dicey. If we have a caution before then, of course, all the cars are going to elect to probably come down pit road at the same time and do just that. As we see Hera falling off pace just a little bit. Now, I think that is in his strategy there. He's not trying to push his car too hard, because to make that pit window that we just talked about, you're still talking about a good 12 to 15 laps plus. Don't want to run the tires out before then and have to come down any sooner than you need to. Now, these guys have been 1-2 for about 10 laps now. This is Louis Clark in the Faded TV Toyota Camry. Patrick McQuaid in the 77 Muffler Man. He's rocking the Chevy Camaro, as he's done all season long. So, teammates and championship contenders, both David sitting 3rd and 4th. Chad Snyder back in 8th. And Travis Rodriguez in 9th. Those guys really have to have a strong back end of this race, if you will, to have any contention to beat these guys at Hillbilly Motorsports. As we see, Patrick might get a run on the high line here. Neither of these guys championship contenders. Both of these guys wanting to win this race. It looks like Patrick had P1 just for a second. Louis Clark, though, able to keep momentum on that high side. Going to be able to take that back within seconds. Louis Clark coming into Michigan, not messing around. He wants to take home first place just as badly as the next. As I do believe we have started to see our cars make it down pit road. So that's Chad Snyder in for his green flag pit stop. He is back out of the track, though. I think Travis Rodriguez decided to go as well. Pretty sure those guys are teammates as well. Don't quote me on that, but I know Chad Snyder racing for Assault Motorsports. I think Rodriguez may be a part of that as well. If not, I do apologize, but so those guys may be working together in the back of this field here as they now find themselves a lap down. Now, if this stays green, obviously they'll get that lap back once these leaders come in for their green flag pit stop. So they're going to be waiting to check to see if Louis Clark Patrick McQuaid, David Lurfano, and the rest of the gang here up front just when they start coming down for their green flag pit stop. And once they do, they're going to get their lap back, but then they're going to have to keep charging. As we've seen tonight, the guys that are up front now definitely have the pace to stay. We haven't really seen anything out of Chad Snyder or Rodriguez that'll make us think that they have the pace. But again, that could be because they're sitting on it. They could have been sandbagging. We'll wait and see as we come up to lap 69. Almost 3/4 of the way. We had some early cautions here at Michigan. The two drivers causing both cautions, I believe, made their way out of the race. And since then, we have been nothing but green flag racing. I'm looking forward to seeing Patrick McQuaid run a full season with these guys again. I talked about it a little bit at the beginning of this race. He's been a fast car pretty much since he joined the league here. And I think he's going to do quite all right for himself as this league does expand and grow, pull in some more drivers. I think we'll still see the consistency come out of that 77. Now, Louis Clark, obviously a part-time driver. He'll be participating in the 24-hour of Spa this week with his race team, Project Dynamic Esports. A very, very heavy endurance road racing team. But he does like to dabble into the ovals. All-American Racing League being his choice to participate in. Larry Garnes up 5 positions so far with a strong P5 currently as we're almost 3/4 of the way in. Again, lap 73 out of 100. Within the next 7 laps or so, we're going to start seeing some of these leaders come in for their green flag pit stops. Now, once we do complete said green flag pit stops here, that's pretty much going to be pedal to the metal here. There's really not a whole lot of strategizing that's going to take place other than make your way up to the front as quickly as possible. We've seen David Hera with the speed tonight to be able to not only make a charge towards Louis Clark, but take this championship away from these other drivers. After what has been a long green flag run, though, we did see his teammate David Lafano take over third place and put a little bit of a gap between him and David Hara. I think almost 6 seconds there between teammates. Is David Lafano coming in for a pit stop? Yes, it is. Now we'll have to see if David Hara, his teammate, also comes in. And it looks like he is. So these guys are going to take care of their final pit stop here under green. 25 laps to go here at Michigan. Louis and Patrick McQuaid all both staying out. So these guys, teammates, no more after this pit stop. Larry Garnes as well, that third team member at Hillbilly Motorsports, not in contention, but obviously playing out the strategy. Now here comes the race leader, Louis Clark, Patrick McQuaid, going to be both making their final pit stop of the night. So now the race is on for Chad Snyder and Travis Rodriguez. Now is your time. You got to get this lap back here, which they should be able to, as we see David Lafano making his way back onto the track. David Harris shortly behind him, so we'll see. Does Chad Snyder get his lap back on these guys? He should have the momentum to do so, but if not, he's going to be in a tough spot here. This was his opportunity to get back on lead lap and in contention. As you can see, I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, that is bad news if you're Chad Snyder. And Travis Rodriguez, both failing to get... No, okay. I was wrong. I apologize to those drivers. They did get their lap back. I was going to say... So, my apologies. But, like we said, where I was going with that is if they did get their lap back, which they did. Now they got to start running here. 25 laps to go. We really haven't seen them up towards the front other than when the leaders came in for pit stops under caution. But you got to go. Now is the time. No more sandbagging. No more sitting back. Louis Clark back up to the lead. Brian Ludlow second. McQuaid third. Lafano, Higgins, Hara. Your top six drivers. Of course, Lafano and Hara, the two drivers that we're keeping our eye on up here into the top six. David Lafano with the advantage. 22 laps to go as your race leader, Louis Clark, crosses that start-finish line. Will Hara make his way back up to the front with teammate Lafano, who has about a 4-second lead on his teammate there. Louis Clark, man, looking to hold it down in first place. He's looking to take home tonight's win. He's won just about every race he's decided to run with these guys. He runs a part-time schedule, All-American Racing League, nice enough to do so. Brian Ludlow in that triple-digit, full throttle Ford Mustang, up 12 spots after those green flag shuffles. Not too sure if he's got to come in or not. But right now, he's riding high in third place. John Higgins between Lafano and Hara. He's had some pretty good pace tonight. He's found himself racing door to door with the guys up front. He got tangled up into the wall a little bit earlier. That's why he lost pace and dropped back to where he did. But right now, he's riding the wave in fifth place. We'll see if he has to come down pit road one more time. David Hara looking for the pass on the inside on John Higgins. That's going to move him up to fifth place. 20 laps to go. Still about 3 seconds behind teammate David Lurfano. David trying to run away with the championship. David Herrick catching him a little bit, though, on the backstretch. Trying to make his way not only up to his teammate, but make the pass. As we close out this race here, 18 laps to go at Michigan, the season finale for these guys. Of course, anything can happen, though. We might still find ourselves under caution one more time. If you take a look at the track map, everybody is spaced out right now, though, so it is unlikely. It's going to have to take somebody maybe on some bald tires, overdriving it a little bit, not being able to oversteer it and correct it. That is always a possibility. And that would definitely open the door for Hare to catch back up. But right now, he's got a tall task of catching his teammate. He's still 3.28 seconds behind David Lurfano. David looking to bring home this championship. He's following Patrick McQuaid and Louis Clark around. As you see, Louis Clark making it look easy. Has a 5-second lead over Patrick McQuaid. He is in the driver's seat, set on cruise control right now. As he looks to bring home that faded TV Toyota Camry down victory lane. Looks like Travis Rodriguez is coming in for a pit stop here. That's pretty much going to put him out of contention for the championship. Unless something dramatically happens, Travis Rodriguez's season is over. As far as that championship ride. But an honor it is for him to be in the top 4. Even to be in contention here at Michigan. Shout out to Travis Rodriguez for making it here tonight where he did. Chad Snyder in 9th place. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to have the run to catch up to Hera and Lurfano. Again, he would need a caution at this point. He just does not have the pace to gain any time on these drivers. If we stay green, his race to the championship dwindling down lap by lap. So pretty much the race for the championship right now under green between teammates David Lurfano and David Hera. Lurfano with a 4-second advantage over his teammate Hera, as Hera is looking for any kind of speed he can find on the racetrack right now, trying to catch up to that Lucky Dog Detailing Toyota Camry. I'm not so sure he's got the pace to keep up, or to catch his teammate, I should say. As that gap now increasing, almost 4 seconds and a quarter. So David Hera's mission of bringing home the championship also dwindling down lap by lap, as David Lurfano in his groove right now. He's got no distractions. Nobody's in front. Nobody's behind for a couple of seconds. He's going to be able to have the whole racetrack to decide how he wants to finish these last 10 laps coming up. This race being dominated by these two guys, though, Louis Clark and Patrick McQuaid, who's fallen back now over 6 seconds behind Louis Clark. Another dominating performance by Louis. Just has so much speed here in the ovals. He's taking us out of turn 2 onto the backstretch. 11 laps to go. It's been a pretty caution-free race here. All eyes right now, though, on that number 8 team, David Lorfano III, as he looks to take the championship here, Season 1, All-American Racing League Cup Series. If this can stay green, this is all his to win. These guys started the playoffs with a round of 10 drivers. They ran 3 races, dwindled it down to 6. Ran another 3 races that brought us here into the round of 4. Louis Clark crossing the start-finish line for us, breaking that double-digit laps to go. We have 9 remaining here at Michigan. Of course, it'll be a little bit bittersweet for that 15 car, wanting to come in and win the championship. And if he's not able to do so, a lot of disappointment on one hand, but on the other, happiness for his teammate at Hillbilly Motorsports if David Lorfano is able to keep this pace with just 8 laps to go. David Harris still about 6 seconds off. So he's losing a little bit of pace to David Lorfano. Larry Garnes looking to take home the top 5. That'll be strong for that 20 Chevrolet camp. You see him at the right of your screen. He's running with Brian Ludlow looking to take home a top 10 here. He's sitting 6th. John Higgins 7th. Chad Snyder 8th. And again, Travis Rodriguez in the blue, a lap down. His championship run is over. Louis Clark coming out of the front stretch is going to count us down to 5 laps to go. Been a clean race, been a good race. What a way to close out Season 1 for these guys. David Lurfano only needing to hold on now for the next 4 laps. Laps to go. Louis Clark entering turn 1 now. David Lurfano crossing the start-finish line. We're right along with your race leader, Louis Clark. Louis Clark going to be coming out of turn 4, taking the white flag at Michigan. And the win, unless something dramatic were to happen. We are on our final lap as we have seen race dominance from Louis Clark tonight. It looked like Aiden Christensen and Campbell Delaney really the only ones that were going to be able to keep pace with this 73 car tonight. They got into a couple of early wrecks and some early exits out of those 2 drivers. They were pretty fast tonight, just really couldn't stay out of trouble. Louis Clark out of turn 4. He's going to be your race winner here at Michigan. And ladies and gentlemen, coming out of turn 4 in the Lucky Dog Detailing 8 Toyota Camry, David Lurfano going to be taking home the championship with All-American Racing League. What a heck of a season. David Hara, he's going to finish 2nd in points, 4th in the race, and 1st in your hearts. Larry Garnes, Hillbilly Motorsport teammate, with a top 5. Shout out to that rookie. John Higgins 6th, Brian Ludlow 7th. Unfortunately, Chad Snyder and Travis Rodriguez just didn't have the speed here at Michigan. But a strong, strong run by Louis Clark and David Lurfano, your race winner and your series winner, side by side here at Michigan. As I'm sure they're both ready to celebrate. We're going to see some double donut action here. As we see these guys celebrate, their celebration comes to an end, at least on the track momentarily. We'll pull in race winner Louis Clark, rocking the faded TV, 73 Toyota Camry, still burning down the house. Louis Clark, race winner here at Michigan. How does it feel, bud?
Feels good, man. You know, was a good race.
Yeah, it was a good race. Now, there were some guys here tonight. Aiden Christensen, Campbell Delaney, really, really fast drivers here. It looked like maybe the only 2 drivers that were really going to be able to keep pace with you. As soon as you saw those guys down, I mean, did that give you a little bit of confidence there, knowing that you might go home with tonight's win?
Nah, man. We knew them 2 were quick, but they used their tires like the kids no tomorrow. So my plan was to get behind one of them, let them rust their tires like they did, and then pounce on them.
Yeah,
and that's what I've done.
we saw David Hera early on to that race. I mean, just had a ton of speed. I mean, it's very rare that we see somebody on your bumper in these races. And David Hera early on, I mean, he was on your bumper there for quite a while at the beginning and about halfway through the race. I think some green flag pit stops is what kind of separated you guys. But, congratulations on the win tonight. Appreciate you running the Faded TV paint scheme. That meant a lot to me, man. And congratulations. I know you just run a part-time schedule with these guys, but congratulations on picking up the win. And good luck in the 24-hour of Spa, my friend.
Cheers, man. Yeah, thank you. It's going to be a good race, Spa. We were looking for about a 4th or 5th split. We got about a 3K team. So, yeah, we're going to look forward to it, man. Hopefully you guys can come watch.
Absolutely, man. And I'm sure I'll check in on that. Louis Clark, thanks for your time, man. And again, congrats, brother.
Cheers, boys. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
All righty. We're going to pull in the Hillbilly Motorsports race team. And we're going to pull in David Hera and David Lurfano. David Hera will speak to you first in the 15. It looked like you had a pretty good run there towards the beginning and the middle. And then I think green flag pit stops. You came out and you really didn't have the pace to catch teammate David Lurfano. A disappointing end, I'm sure. However, I'm sure a little bit of a bittersweet moment for you. I mean, look, individually, you're still taking home second in the standings, and you got to watch your teammate take the championship. Just kind of tell me what you're going through right now, Hera.
Yeah, man. No, it's awesome. And congratulations to David Lufano and the 8 on that the championship victory, man. He's the best out here, obviously. But yeah, we had a fast car, man. We had a lot of fun. There at the beginning of the race was a little hairy, a little scary. I mean, I got caught up in some other people's mess there and used up a quick repair, and then rushed through the field and caught up to Louis, and Louis and I just pulled away, and that felt good. The car was fast. It was real fast early in the race, and then once David got around me, though, I mean, he was class of the field. He had that thing on rails, man. And but the blue gray plastic fabrication Chevrolet, check them out at www.bluegrayplasticfab.com. They do some awesome stuff there. But yeah, they're going to be on for next season. David Lufano and Larry Gons are my teammates for next season, and we finished 3, 4, and 5 all in the top 5. Man, the only way I could be happier is if I could have passed Lufano, which didn't happen. But congratulations to him. It was awesome.
Yeah, awesome. And feel free to stay in here a little bit, as I actually did pull in your guys' teammate, Larry Garnes. Larry, are you with us? You got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Larry. So look, man, that was one of your better runs too. And as I'm making David Lurfano wait for his interview patiently. We talked to David Hera. Obviously, he's got his sponsor on for next season. You just saw one of your teammates win the championship tonight. You picked up a sponsor, which we shouted out at the top of the broadcast. Now, it's my understanding David Hera was telling me that not only are you a rookie to the league, but you're a rookie to iRacing, correct?
Yeah, the guys they let me join in, and I'm still running a rookie status.
Yeah, running a rookie status, but you take home a top 5 tonight. So I wanted to at least bring you in here with your other teammates and say congrats on a very, very clean run, possibly one of your best runs here in the Cup Series. And I talked about it a little bit on the broadcast. It's been nice to see some of you guys, including yourself, Garnes, come in and grow. You picked up a sponsor. You're taking home a top 5 in the last race of the season. So I just wanted to say, I just wanted you to come in here. I wanted to say congrats and just let you know, man, people are noticing that kind of stuff. So keep working hard, my man.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All righty, and I made him wait as long as I could. I can't make him wait anymore. Your All-American Racing League Season 1 Cup Series champion, driving the Lucky Dog Detailing 8 Toyota Camry, David Lurfano. How does it feel, my man?
Yeah, man, this is awesome. I mean, my whole goal all year, I just preach consistency. I don't think I won a race all season. So, but this race was different for sure. I mean, I went in with a game plan as far as pit strategy, and I tried to stick to it. And I think me, David, and Larry kind of switched it up there on that last run, and came in, I think, with like 25 to go. And I don't know. whether it was right or wrong. I wasn't worried about Louis and Patrick up front. All I was worried about was David in my rear view.
Yeah, so how does it feel, David Lurfano, to have such a good group of teammates? I mean, obviously, obviously there's going to be some disappointment on the 15, but he comes in here, he talks you up. You guys are very supportive of each other. What does it mean to have a teammate like that, at one time you guys were racing around each other? I mean, with, lap 50 to lap 55, you guys were really battling it out. It seemed like you guys were able to keep your paint clean. And you made your way around your teammate there and stuck it out through the whole race. So what does it mean to be on a team with these guys and be able to represent Hillbilly Motorsports?
David's a great guy. He's done a lot for this league. Getting everything set up week in and week out, especially with you in the broadcast and giving you what you need. Great teammate. We've been working well together. And, a big shout-out to Larry. His best finish this year, and we worked together all week trying to figure this place out and come up with a game plan that it seemed to work for us tonight. So, but all these guys over here, Chad Snyder, great competitor, usually a front runner all the time, and Travis, I can't say enough about these guys. We have a good group of guys here. I couldn't ask for any better group of guys to race with week in and week out.
Yeah, 100%, man, and you guys keep doing your thing. Talk to me a little bit. How fast or how long is the turnaround before Season 2 starts?
Well, Season 2 will start August 10th. We're going to kick that off at Daytona. So, yeah, it's a quick turnaround. I think it's, 2 weeks, I think it is. So we'll be switching gears real quick, trying to get a handle on these next-gen cars. Hopefully I can pick it up quick. It took me half the season just to figure out these things. Going from the Xfinity cars to these was a big change. So, but I do got to apologize to David a little bit on that last restart. So I had about a 6-second lead, and I think I gave him a false sense of hope there for a little bit. I kind of backed up my pace a lot and let him get to about 2.5, 3 seconds before I started picking it back up. And I hated to do it, but I wanted to, make him try to run the tires off that thing so I could just pull away there at the end. It worked for me.
No. I'm sure it's all good, man. You three guys have a really good future heading into Season 2. I appreciate you guys hopping up in here. Congratulations to David Hera. He's going to be taking home second place overall in the standings. Larry Garnes making a name for himself in this league, finishing in the top 5. And David Lurfano, your season champion. I appreciate your time, guys. You guys can go back into the voice chat if you guys would like to. Again, congratulations on running such a strong season and HMS up front at the end. So congrats, guys.
Yeah, thank you. I just got to give another shout out to the Lucky Dog Detailing. It's great for them jumping on board. I'm excited to get that championship for them. I hope they watched tonight and enjoyed the show.
Yeah, Lucky Dog Detailing in the Charlotte area. Hera, you were getting ready to say something?
No, I was just saying thanks for what you did, man. These broadcasts have been awesome. It definitely gives our sponsors a chance to be seen, and that's what this is about. It gives our driving talent and all that something to be seen. So you do a great job up there, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And we got some exciting things brewing up for everybody. Season 2, maybe some multi-streaming going on, try to get All-American Racing League brand out there. But that'll be for a private conversation at another time between these guys. But I appreciate the love. You guys have a good night, and congrats, and go celebrate, guys.
All right,
thank you.
You too, thanks.
Yep. All righty, next we're going to shuffle in Chad Snyder in the Rebellion Graphics number 5. Chad, are you AFK or do you have a copy, sir?
I got you, buddy.
All righty, so I think you edged out Travis Rodriguez. You're going to be taking home 3rd overall, which says something. I mean, just getting to this point in the season, I know you were happy about. You could tell kind of relatively early on, no disrespect, of course, that maybe you weren't going to have the pace to track down David Hera. and David Lorfano. I thought maybe when they did their green flag pit stop, you still had to work on a lap back. And I thought maybe that was your opportunity to get up there. But maybe just not quite enough to run with those guys. Kind of talk about your night here at Michigan. I'm sure it's a little bit disappointing, but again, on the flip side, you're going to be taking home overall third place.
Yeah, first, before I say anything, I want to congratulate David Lorfano. This whole series wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Dave, so it's very well-deserved championship. David Hara as well has come a long way this season, and Travis Rodriguez also has too. So I want to congratulate those guys on a great season. We've all worked really hard to get here. But yeah, tonight definitely didn't go the way we wanted it to. It was mainly on a decision that I made, that lap 35 caution. I should have pitted and I didn't. But that just kind of the differential in tires put me way too far back, and we just couldn't overcome it with the race going green the rest of the way. It's definitely disappointing, but given the way my particular season's gone, there've been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of disastrous races, and I missed a race earlier on in the year due to a surgery I had. So to even be here was a win in and of itself. So it's a little disappointing. I really wanted to get that 2 championships in a row, but I couldn't quite pull it off. But Assault Motorsports, we're gonna go to work on this next gen car and have something for them next year.
Yeah. Now, I said it in the broadcast, and I was hoping that I was right. Is Rodriguez a teammate?
Officially right now, he is not, but as of the conclusion of this race, he is.
Yeah,
He's winning our ranks and switching over to Chevrolet next year.
Okay, and then are you guys, is it a 2-man team? You guys got somebody else? And while we're talking, I might as well pull him in here as well. But talk about a little bit about your team heading into next season and who's all going to be a part of that.
Well, it's actually a 3-person team. It was formed by myself and Josh Hetrick. So Josh is also a driver for Assault Motorsports, and we got to tip our cap to him too. He did anything and everything he could tonight to help us out. He was kind of calling our strategy there at the end. Didn't really work out, but that wasn't really on him. So got to give a tip to cap to Josh as well. And I'm excited to work with these guys going forward.
Yeah, sure. An exciting time. I mean, anytime. And Travis, I wanted to pull you in here and talk to you a little bit too about maybe not the night that you wanted, but, I reminded Chad, you guys are still taking home top 4 in points overall in the season. You guys are going to link up next season with Assault Motorsports. Talk to us a little bit about your night, Travis, as it seemed like both the Davids just had a little bit more pace than you guys. I know Chad talked about that lap 35. He didn't come into pit. So talk about a little bit of your night tonight, but then also reflect on the season in whole, taking home 4th place, and then what you're looking forward to in next season.
Okay, no. As far as the race tonight, it was just some bad luck, I guess, as far as on my end. I'm not going to say the strategy or any type of strategy had anything to do with it. As far as my bad luck, I hit the wall more times than I could count. Caused as much damage to the vehicle myself as any other type of situation would. Most of it was just on me. And as far as moving forward, it's going to be different. Having to relearn the car, relearn how the car feels, and getting around all of the tracks that I had some familiarity with. So it'll be different. Hopefully, we can get better with strategy and work together a little bit more to try and stay a little more consistent and be higher up in the points.
Yeah, sure. And I think the most important thing, like you said, is learning a new car. But it looks like you're going to have some awesome teammates to do it with Chad and Josh. So I wish you guys nothing but the best. We got a quick turnaround here in 2 weeks. You guys are going to have to prep up for Daytona in the next gen. We're looking forward to that. Of course, all next season going to be casted right here on Faded TV. Chad Snyder, Travis Rodriguez, officially going to be teammates next season on Assault Motorsports. Thank you for your time, and congratulations on taking 3rd and 4th overall in the season.
Thanks, Fader. We really appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
You got it. So that's going to be it for the race interviews. We had 100 laps here at Michigan. David Hara taking home 2nd overall in your points. Teammate David Lorfano going to be switching over to the Chevy, I believe, next season. But he is going to be this season's champion. They've ran a long season. They've ran a tough season. These guys are recruiting. All American Racing League definitely want to get into the action as they switch over to the next gen cars. We're going to be live August 10th at Daytona. But right now, it's all about David Lurfano and celebrating that lucky dog detailing number 8 as he takes home the championship. We're signing off, as always, Faded TV. Look for us on Facebook for all your broadcasting needs. Shout out to All American Racing League. It's been an honor and a privilege to call this season for these guys, and it's been a pleasure having you guys in the chat with us every step of the way. We'll see you August 10th back with the Cup cars. Good night.